Good morning, Taiwan, and thank you for sharing your Friday with us. I am Louisa Lee. 早安，你好，欢迎收看 Louisa 报报，每天给你最新奇、最有趣的新闻。Syrian President Bashar al-Assad is speaking out for the first time since December regarding the bloodshed in the country. The leader says that nations that sow chaos in Syria may be infected by it themselves. Assad further denounces the opposition fighters while emphasizing that most Syrians support his regime following the recent result of the parliamentary elections. However, the opposition groups are saying it otherwise, with boycotts reported in various cities. 阿塞德接受俄罗斯电视台访问，谈到国内动乱跟武器走私的问题，他态度非常强硬，指责干涉他们的内政的西方国家，并且表示不担心他们的制裁。
Syrian President Bashar al-Assad sits down with Russian television. He said that countries that sow chaos in Syria could find themselves infected at home. He was asked about weapons smuggling in the region.
You should understand, nobody here can control their borders, neither Syria nor the neighboring countries. You can't simply close the border and stop the smuggling, but you can reduce the flow. Most of the weapons have been coming in from Lebanon and Turkey so far, but we have no proof at all that the authorities of these countries have been promoting smuggling in the past. Since recently, and it refers first of all to Lebanon and Jordan, they have been trying to fight against it and to stop it. I don't want to say that the position of the authorities has changed somehow. If we take into consideration the developments in Syria, the events in Libya and other countries, for the leaders of these countries it's becoming clear that this is not spring but chaos. And as I have said, if you sow chaos in Syria, you may be infected by it yourself, and they understand this perfectly well.
President Assad was asked whether he contributed to the violence because he was too slow in adopting reforms.
The problem of terrorism is now very acute for Syria. It seems to some people that if we conduct the reforms earlier, the situation would have been better now. It's not right for one reason. Terrorists spit on reform. They are not fighting for reforms, they are fighting to bring terror.
Assad said Western sanctions are affecting Syria's economy, but Damascus could find a way to survive given its relationship with non-Western countries.
And Greeks are pulling their money out of the banks fast and in large sums. Reports show that 700 million euros have been withdrawn from the central bank in a single day, proving that people are in fear that their country will crash out of the euro currency and return to the drachma. 希腊确定暂时无法筹组新政府了。现在传出将会在6月17日举行国会大选，民众也希望政局能够早日稳定，不要退出欧元区。
Elections in a minefield. The headline in one Greek newspaper says it all. The country has just set a June the 17th date for new elections. In the meantime, Greeks are worried about exiting the euro. Some are withdrawing their money from local banks, and the president has warned of possible panic. Reports suggest savers withdrew 700 million euros from the central bank on Monday, with similar amounts taken out of other banks on Tuesday. Kleoniki Terzou is a Greek economist.
Everyone's very worried. Don't you see what's going on with bank liquidity? I hear that people are taking their money out of banks. They're worried that we might go back to the drachma. They're putting their money into safety deposit boxes. It's crazy. It's as if there's a war coming.
The country abandoned a 9-day hunt for a government on Wednesday following inconclusive elections. Many in Athens weren't surprised.
I expected it. It was natural that this would happen because the parties believe in completely different things. It's not possible that they can find common ground. It was certain that this would happen.
I'm going to vote differently this time because I believe that people voted in protest. I personally did vote in protest. Some parties said one thing before the election but did things differently afterwards. I think the most important thing is that Greeks do want to stay in the Eurozone.
The last election left Parliament split over a €130 billion bailout package. Now time is running out. Greece only has enough money for the next few weeks, and it won't get the next loan instalment until a new pro-bailout government is in place. That is now looking less likely. Polls predict anti-bailout leftists will win the next election and possibly end up leaving the Eurozone.
And it takes more than just getting there early to secure a spot in New York's subway stations. With a massive number of people passing by every day, performers need to earn their place to showcase their talent, and they only have 5 minutes to convince the judges. 就像台湾的街头艺人一样，在纽约如果想要在地铁站表演的话，也要取得表演执照。前天在纽约就举行了地铁艺人表演执照的甄选，很多表演天分的人都来抢执照。
The subway in New York City is one of the largest subway systems in the world and is also known for its various subway performers. However, becoming a subway performer in New York isn't as easy as you might think. Each year, dozens of musicians try out at the annual Music Under New York auditions, which grants permits that make it legal for performers to entertain passers-by on the transit system. And those who don't have permits can face hefty fines. This year's audition began early on Wednesday, and the contestants had to try their best to impress the 33 judges of Metropolitan Transit Authority, who will give out 20 new permits to the new talents. Italian singer Anya Galli has been busking on subway platforms in New York for 2 years and says she knows she faces fierce competition.
There's a lot of talent on the subway. I mean, there are no bad musicians on the subway, and some of them are, you know, the best musicians in the world. Not to say that they're only in New York, they're everywhere, but it's just New York is a cutthroat environment for good musicians to succeed.
She isn't the only one who feels the pressure to obtain a permit. Bassist Craig Robinson said he plays twice a week at various subway stations, including Times Square, Penn Station, and Grand Central Station. As his daily income can range from $30 to $300 US, obtaining a license means more security.
It means security, artistic security, and as much as financial security. Knowing that I can go out there when I want to and play what I want, and that there'll always be people to listen to it.
Even one of the judge, Alex Steyermark, said each year the competition gets stiffer.
I think that the subway is a great forum to expose New Yorkers to new ideas and new music, and I look for quality, so I want them to be good musically, but I also want them to be different and unique. That's what I look for. But I'm a tough judge because I've been doing this for about eight times, so I've gotten more stringent.
Only 350 permits are granted through the MUNY program, which is funded by the Metropolitan Transit Authority.
And pop star Jennifer Lopez has made a huge jump on the annual list this year compiled by Forbes, stealing the crown from Lady Gaga, who's currently in Taiwan, to become the world's most powerful celebrity. Jennifer Lopez 离婚之后，事业好像越来越顺利。她入选富比士100大影响力名人排行榜，打败 Lady Gaga、Oprah Winfrey 等人，成为最有影响力的第1名。
Jennifer Lopez has topped the annual Forbes magazine list of the 100 most powerful celebrities in the world, taking over from fellow pop singer Lady Gaga and beating out media mogul Oprah Winfrey. The 42-year-old singer, actress, and dancer who surprisingly jumped from 50th place on last year's list that measures power by entertainment-related earnings, media visibility, and social media popularity. Forbes estimated Lopez's earnings in the past 12 months at $52 million, and her top ranking is powered by her gig as a judge on the popular television show American Idol, a new clothing line at Kohl's, a top-selling fragrance, and millions of Twitter and Facebook followers. She also just announced her first upcoming world tour. Winfrey, who's admitted struggling with her own TV network after ending the Oprah Winfrey Show last year after 25 years, kept her number 2 slot from last year, earning an estimated $165 million. Canadian pop star Justin Bieber also stayed at number 3, where he debuted last year, earning $55 million. Pop star Rihanna landed on the list for the first time with estimated earnings at $53 million.
And that's it for this Friday edition. I am Louisa Lee, and we'll see you back here on Monday. Enjoy your Friday and your weekend ahead. Meanwhile, stay with CTS for the latest weather update and for more top stories.